Hi there, welcome back to More Creating by Sue. I'm Sue and I make printable planner stickers that you can use for free. You can also use them in your digital planners. I like to use them in my silhouette and put them on my planner page before I print them. And my plan with me will show you how I do that. You can find me on Instagram at More Creating by Sue, and you can find my free stickers on my website at www.morecreatingbysue.weebly.com. Today we're going to do a plan with me for the second week of October, the second full week of October. I'm going to be using my Glamoween stickers. You like how I did that little play on that word there? Anyway, last week I started using this horizontal one full page planner layout and I kind of like it, so I'm going to try it again. I already have my stickers from my Glamoween sticker set cropped and ready to go. So let's get going. This is the second full week of October. So let's go ahead and add October to the top of our page. And I'm going to use the colors from this set. I still have them saved in my colors. And the way I get my colors is by using the little dropper and finding the color within the stickers that I like that matches the sticker set. So let's go ahead and change the color of October, and I'm going to use this light pink and there, and I downloaded some Halloween fonts, so let's find one of those that we can use. I think I have one called Halloween Witch. Let's see, we have Halloween, Halloween Ghost, pumpkins. We don't see Witch. Let's just look for Witch. Witch Night, there we go. So I'm going to change it and use that as my font. And last week I was talking about how I wasn't sure if I was going to like my month along the top on this washi, but I went ahead and used it like this last week and it was perfectly fine and I didn't have a problem with it. So let's put a washi over here, and I'm going to use this gradient washi. So let's go ahead and rotate that by 90 and pop that in place. And of course we're going to make that bigger. So I'm going to grab this corner and just drag across. And then I'm going to grab the side and pull it down. And I'm not liking how the T is a little bit off the washi, so I'm going to go ahead and resize my month to fit inside the washi. Okay, let's move along. So instead of changing the color of my boxes, I'm going to actually change the color of all of these boxes so that it's just a little bit different. So I selected all of my boxes, and I'm going to, my labels are this hot, deep purple color. So actually I'm going to use this gray color because that deep purple is outlined in white, so it'll show up pretty good. Let's take that transparency off. And then I will leave these little boxes in here, but I'm going to make them that same color of gray, but then I'm going to give them a transparency of just a little bit lighter so you can see them. And apparently you can't. Let me bring them in the front. I don't know why they're not changing. Okay, let's go back. Take that transparency off. And let's try it this way. No, I don't know. I don't know why that's not working. I'll have to look into that. I'll just leave it like it is with a transparency of 25 so you can kind of see through there. And then this one, I'm going to make a transparency of 50 because that's my weekend. And so I'll have two numbers on there, one on the top, one on the bottom. So now I can move my days of the week into their place. I did start my week on Monday because my weekend is 2 days in one box, and I'm still not sure how I like that. So I'll give it a couple of weeks and see if I'm okay with starting my week on a Monday. It's just not something I'm used to, so we'll have to just wait and see. And because I've already made these stickers, I don't have one that says weekend, so I'll go ahead and type that again like I did last week. I'm going to fill that in with this purple color and change the font, and it was script bold, and then I'm going to give it an offset so that it has the same white around it. Make that white and make the line white. And then I'm going to select all of my pieces. I'm going to group them together so that when I resize it to fit in the box, it'll all resize together. And I want those to be about the same size as the word stickers, so I'm going to pull that down and make it so that it's about the same size as the words. Now, it's going to look a little different right now because it's not an actual sticker. But when I go to print it, it should look similar enough. It is a little different, but that's okay. We're going to leave it like it is. I'm going to add the weekend sticker to this sticker sheet so that after these stickers are used, you'll see that on there where it'll say weekend. Alright, so now I'm going to put something behind my meals box, and last time I just did a color, but this time I'm going to use one of these patterns. So let's use this one right here, and I'm just going to pull that over, and what I'll do is I'll lay it right on top, and then I will resize it so that it fits into that space. Bring it down, and let's just zoom in so we can really see. I know it's not enough because see, you can see behind it, so let's go ahead and pull that over, and then we'll send this to the back, and then we will pull that up a little bit, and then I'm going to click on this gray box. I'm going to backspace to delete it, so now you can see that image behind my boxes. And I'm going to do the same thing for the to-do and my little note box down here. So let's go ahead and pull over this spider web. Now another way you can resize it is look at the dimensions of the box that you want to cover. So it's 5.127 by 2.990. So you can either try to remember those, or if you're not good at remembering like me, I'm going to write those down. And I'm going to click on my image, and then I'll go up and I'll change those sizes. I'm not going to lock my aspect ratio because I want to input those sizes that I just wrote down. So 5.127 by 2.990, and then enter, and you'll see that will fit perfectly into that space. But again, because it's on the top, I want to send it to the back, click on the gray box, and backspace to delete it. So now you can see it's behind there. So one more way I want to show you how you can do that is I'm going to use a different box. Let's do this one. So I'm going to pull this over, and I want this to go into this box right here. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of it. Just like this. It doesn't matter if it's over the top of it. So what I want to do now is I want to click and drag, and it's going to select both this box and this box. And then I'm going to come over to the side and I'm going to crop it. Now I haven't done it this way, so let's see if it'll work. And it did. So now it's that box. So let's see if my lines are still there. And they are. So it's perfectly positioned in that spot. So one more time that way. Let's do a light colored one because I want it to go here, but I want it to be a little bit lighter. Then let's do this one. So pull this over, and I don't know if this one's going to work or not, to be honest, because it's got so many small boxes. I doubt if it'll work, but let's give it a try, right? All we could do is try. Okay, this is going to have to be pretty big to actually fit over that, but that's okay because I actually like the bats. I don't think this is going to work, you guys, but let's see. So I have the box behind it and the box in front of it. Let's crop it and see what happens. And what it did actually was it made all of those little tiny boxes. It cropped it. So we're going to undo that. We don't like that. Well, I don't like that. So this one you're going to have to go ahead and resize it to fit behind that box that you have. So let's go ahead and get back over here, and we'll just drag it over and pull it down just a little bit, and then we'll send it to the back. And you can see there's nothing behind this one, so it's actually already showing up. So that's perfectly fine just the way it is. I don't have to delete a box away from it. Okay, that's great. So now we're going to fill in this washi right here, and I want to use one of these pieces. So I'm going to bring this over and put it on the top of it, and then I will resize that so that it fits into that space. It's kind of, remember, I have a piece of washi there acting as a little spacer. There we go. Good. Okay. Now we can start adding our stickers and decorations. Let's do this one. And I'm just going to put that here, but I'm going to rotate that to 90 degrees, and we're just going to put it right into that space there. We can make it a little bit bigger, bring it down a little bit. So there's that. I like the spider web in it. I have a couple of those pieces that you can use for layering or whatever you want to use them for. Let's get this little witch here. We're going to put her here and make her a little bit bigger. And actually I'm going to go ahead and put her on this side of it. And because what is happening is I can't get this into a spot because there's just that little bit of white underneath it. So every time I try to move it, I want it to be the bottom, the black part to be even with this line. But because it's got that white around it, it's snapping it into that place. So I can turn that off by clicking view and then unchecking the smart snapping. So now I can actually move that around a little bit easier. So we'll put her right there. And then you can turn that back on if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and leave it off for just a little bit and see if I can move my things around a little bit easier. So we have meals. Let's switch that one out. And we have a to-do spot. So let's switch that one out. And when you turn off that smart snapping, it doesn't give you the blue lines to make sure that you're centered. So if you like those, then you need to return it back on. But I'm okay with it not on. I can put them in where I need them to be. Okay, so the second week of October, right now I don't have anything going on. I do my grocery shopping on Mondays, so I'm going to pull over a little box to put that on. There we go. On Tuesdays I do my cleaning, so let's put to clean right here. And let's move this one over. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to actually resize that so that it fits inside that area a little bit better. Zoom in and we can see it easier. Now I always try to use the corners to resize because it'll resize the whole sticker. If you use a side, it'll make it, sometimes it'll make it look a little bit different, like you'll lose the integrity of what the sticker looks like. But we will go right here. Actually, let's go in the middle. Let's move this one over a little bit. And I'm going to use this pink and put it up behind there. Just kind of a little layering going on. There we go. Okay. So then I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't have anything yet. I could print these out and cut them and have them for if something comes up, or I can just handwrite in what I want to have in there, which is probably what I'll do. So let's take this one and put her in here. And I want to kind of put something around this area here. Let's do these pumpkins. They're kind of a little bit bougie, all right? So let's put one here and one here. And maybe one here. looks pretty good. All right, and then all I'm doing now is just decorating with my stickers. So let's do this sticker and put it kind of down here on the edge. And actually that looks pretty good. And maybe this cute little bat can be flying up here. Let's make him a little bit bigger. And let's tilt him just a little bit so he doesn't look so perfect. Okay. And I'm just adding stickers now just for decoration. And last time I was on, I talked about how I like this layout because I can add more stickers to my design. I really like that. That's been a lot of fun. Put that over here next to the witch. A witch with a witch pumpkin. And let's zoom out and see where we're at. Okay. And then on the weekend, my husband will be hunting, so maybe I'll go do some Christmas shopping, some really early Christmas shopping. We'll see. I don't really do that out in public. I usually do all my Christmas shopping online because, well, I just don't like to be around a lot of people. But sometimes you have to be, right? So what I'm going to do with this is put it up here in this corner. Maybe I'll move it over. Actually, no, I don't like that. I'm not going to use it. I know. I'm just like, oh, I'm not going to use it. No, I'm not going to use it. Let's put this one over. Just in case I decided to do some shopping, I'll put this over here so I can write on there. Maybe I'll put a little list of who I want to look for a gift for. There we go. And maybe this one. Go down here. Not liking that. So this is just playing around with it, seeing how you like it, seeing where things can go. I'll layer the spider behind it. There we go. And I think I'm going to stick with this. This will be pretty much, this is what I'm going to use. We'll see how this prints out, but I think it'll be okay because this is later, so I'll be able to write on there. I do have a white pen, so maybe I'll use my white pen on there if it's too dark. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this plan with me, and be sure to check me out on Instagram and check out my website for some free stickers. Have a great day.